I'm Eloise Bhatia from Origin. I'd also like to introduce James Luxford from PNMsoft.
You'll get a feel from Ellie's presentation today where we fit into this equation. I head up the product specialist team at PNMsoft, but more about me a little later.
So just an overview of my presentation today. I'm going to run you through a bit of background to Atos, what the objectives of the project I'll talk about were, the sequence solution, which is a BPM solution, and then finally the results that Atos have seen from bringing this technology on board. So, as an introduction, Atos Origin, we're in an IT outsourcing environment. We take requests for change into our business office, and we reply to our government account with what we call CCNs, or change control notes. Sequence as a solution, a BPM solution which is chosen by a previous program director as a tool to address current issues that the account was facing, and I'll discuss those in the next slide as well. So we actually went live with Sequence in May of 2009, and we had a major new release to the tool as well in October of 2009. Bringing Sequence on board was as well part of a wider pilot program to improve and lean the Atos Origin change management process. So as an understanding, we are under contract with a major government account. Specifically, we have to reply with CCN documents within certain timeframes, and we're under service level agreements for those replies as well. So the actual account was chosen as a pilot for this particular tool Sequence, and I'll discuss further the project related. So as a bit of background, if I take people, process and technology, our business office group replying to RFCs, a group of 12 defined solution managers. Some of the issues we were facing back at the beginning of last year is a high workload and a large backlog of non-responded RFCs. We're dealing with quite a reactive environment at the time, a lot of firefighting, general unhappiness by staff as well due to the workload. So in terms of process, at the time we were actually manually managing our process through the use of an MS Excel spreadsheet. Specifically, we used 2003 at the time. As a result, we had a lot of lack of visibility and control over the process. We could only have certain users in at a time making changes to information, trying to keep information up to date. And we knew we had process bottlenecks, but what we didn't necessarily know is where those bottlenecks were at. And finally, in terms of technology, we do use a document management system at Atos, but because we're working on a major government account, we can't store information outside of the UK, so our use of that document management system is restricted. We do use SAP to manage our financials. However, we have no integration of tools, so staff are expected to learn a number of different tools and manually integrate those tools by exporting data out into Excel spreadsheets and piecing them back together on an ad hoc basis. So again, our management information was produced manually. It didn't necessarily give accurate pictures of the situation at hand, and in fact the management at the time were quite good at actually hiding things because of their lack of knowledge about Excel and Word and how to use it. Atos Origin could verbalise the issues from a downstream perspective. Our delivery groups were experiencing problems such as every request for our project was urgent. So we knew what was going on, but we couldn't actually see what was happening upstream because of our lack of visibility and control over our upstream processes. So our objectives to our project, which is still ongoing, we're still in phase 2 at the moment and looking towards phase 3. So initially it was to automate our current processes and to develop a suite of reports. Then in phase 2, which we're working in at the moment, is actually to integrate Sequence with our customer and also to implement full document management to the process. The intention is with phase 2 at the moment is to actually provide a self